Paul Gauguin, world's famous post-impressionist. You've probably heard of him if you attended any history class ever. You probably know him. But why, you might ask? I might join you on that one. Because who the heck knows? Maybe because he did lots of stuff, primarily painting, but he also did some sculpture, ceramics. He also wrote a bunch. He was designing prints, abusing his wife, physically, emotionally, and verbally. Sexually exploited women, including minors. And oh boy, you've heard correctly. He did all of those things. And more. And we're going into the video like a bitch. And yeah, that's him on the photo. So Paul Gauguin, or as I like to call him, P.giddy, was born in 1848 in Paris. During the Spring of Nations. Heck of a time for Europe. And probably because of the revolutions and stuff, his family moved to Peru when he was only 2 years old. Though after a while, because of financial situation, family got back to France eventually. But it was too late. He thought he was the fucking king of the world. Because we all know what it meant to be a European in such part of the world. Not good thing for the natives. But I'm getting off track. After getting back to France, he got educated in some Catholic school for pricks. And then he went to Navy school and even served in a French Navy for 2 years. And considering he was, stationed in like Brazil or India, and considering the times, that means he was a fucking colonizer as well. But those first career steps and education led our artist to become, of course, a stockbroker at the age of 23. Not only that, he was supposedly quite good businessman for like 11 years. But he was not only stockbroking, he was also dealing arts on different art markets. So he was looking at art that time. Plus, I bet he's one of the motherfuckers that started using art to avoid taxes. Though in 1882, everything went to shit because of the biggest French economy crash of the 19th century. But thankfully, he was a piece of shit, so you don't have to feel pity for him. Like, nah, seriously, he was so egomaniac that his own mother, just before her death, advised him to focus on his career because he had made himself so unpopular with all my friends. I mean, he even managed to offend his own mentor, Pissarro. So much that Pissarro was roasting the fucker in like different newspapers and shit. Like he became his main critic. Can you imagine that? You're someone's mentor and he pisses you off so badly that you just roast the shit out of them in the news. I mean, Jesus Christ, literally had Gauguin's face on his paintings. That's how highly he thought of himself. Wanna hear more things shitty about P.giddy? Like the goddamn video. Let's start with his mental abuse. Because of course, he was a bully. What if I'll tell you Van Gogh probably cut a part of his ear because of this motherfucker? Ha! I bet now I have your interest. So Paul spent around 63 days with Van Gogh in Arles back at the end of 1888. Not only, there's plenty of evidence for Vincent's strange behavior during the visit, but also, he was not the most stable guy ever. And P.giddy roasted poor bastard so much that Vincent eventually cut a chunk of his ear on 23rd of December 1888. Coincidence? I think not. But why do I jump to such crazy conclusions? Well, there's evidence that he was abusing his wife. How we know that? Through letters. So motherfucker's dead, but the evidence there still. Not only that, he also abused her physically, and wouldn't you know it, we also know that from a letter. Matter of fact, it's from a letter his son Emil wrote. When I was 10 years old, I saw my father blood my mother's face with his fist. See, I don't call him P.giddy for no reason. What else connect these two? Oh yeah, right, S.A. on innocent people and minors. And weird as shit parties. And they bet if the video cameras existed back then, motherfucker would record everything as well, like 100%. But what did he do exactly? Well, if you're so interested, maybe subscribe to the channel for more fucked up stories from art world. So Paul, in 1891, abandoned his family for life to go to Tahiti. And oh boy, he treated that island as Epstein did his. So he started painting locals because he went there to focus on the painting career. But by a weird coincidence, those paintings were either semi-nude or completely nude and mostly of young girls. But what I'm bitching about, he probably just painted them. Oh, right, the pictures. I mean, just look at the pictures. Fucking disgusting. You can see on them he was a fucking creep. What else? Oh yeah, his fucking opinions on indigenous people. He claimed they're living just to sing and fuck. And obviously he married a 13-year-old when he was 43 and instantly got her pregnant. But maybe he classic Catholic thing when he got her pregnant and then married. Anyways, now you know how disgusting his nude paintings were. Mostly minors. Enjoying Gauguin nude paintings? Straight to jail for being a PDF file. And also, not so fun fact, he had syphilis, which he happily spread around. Plus, apparently, eczema on his legs, so he must have been like the most disgusting fucker you can imagine. But what about the parties I've mentioned? So people back then call them in different ways. For example, banquet. So one time he threw banquet or whatever the fuck you want to call it. So yeah, he threw one, and disgusting one at that. So he basically organized banquet for crème de la crème of an artistic world to explain how primitive, erotic living conditions on Tahiti would revive his muse. Like imagine throwing a party and be like, yo, I tell you, just go to some island, rape some kids, and that'll make you keep going. Like what the actual fuck? And I usually talk about the paintings in these videos as well, but this motherfucker is just too disgusting for me. And hopefully, now knowing the context, you'll feel the same way about this fucker. But that's not the end of the parties, oh no no no. So after coming back to France, he began throwing weekly saloons. What is saloon? Another old-timey for party. But you won't believe what you could find there. And let's use another old-timey word they've used. Exotic persona. Dressed, or rather I would say undressing, in Polynesian costume. So basically he had hookers playing dress up. Not only that, he also, how to put it nicely, he had private encounters with a teenage girl during the fucking saloon or whatever you want to call Diddy party before Diddy. But did he face the justice though? No, and almost. For SA? Absolutely not. For what then? He was sentenced for 3 months of jail for defamation because he wrote some articles criticizing the church and the authorities. That's such a classic move from their side. But the fucker got away with it. How? He fucking died a month before the sentence in 1903. And I hope this time won't be like that though. Now is as good time as ever to stop admiring PDFs and start bringing them to justice. World is literally run by them for ages now. So it won't be easy, but we gotta stop them because like what the actual fuck humanity? P.giddy thankfully is dead, and I think despite that we can still cancel this fucker. And P.diddy is not dead yet, though I hope he'll live for just a bit longer to face all the consequences and sing all about who did what on his parties. And if you got to this moment, comment P.giddy or Mr. Beast if you can't wait to see some sweet consequences. Seriously, fuck them.